Hi, I'm Linda from Get a Clue, Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game. Today I am going to answer 20 questions. I have been tabletop tagged by Ben Myers. And yeah, I'm in the middle of a mess. I've been moving and just got into this house a couple weeks ago. And let me lift this up. We can see some of my games. I'm trying to decide if I want to do them by color, size and color, or how I want to set it up. But for now, I'm separating them by color just to see if I like it that way. And so everything's all over the place. And some will go on that shelving, some will go on these other smaller shelves over here. And we'll see how it ends up. I have some more shelves over here too, with more games and a lot of boxes. If you see, yeah, a lot of boxes, empty boxes mostly. So anyway, I'm going to answer 20 questions as you can get to know me better. And so here goes. Question number 1. Name, age, and location. My name is Linda. I am old. In fact, Ben, when you watch this, I am the reverse of your age. You were 26. I am 62. And location, I've just moved. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and now I am in Dothan, Alabama. Dothan, Alabama. It's very southeast corner of Alabama. Favorite childhood location? Well, I love where I spent my childhood, which was, my early childhood was spent on the island of Puerto Rico. And we lived there a total of 9 years. And I love the tropics. I love warm, so I'm fine in Alabama and Georgia. I'm fine in Florida because I have lived as far south as Miami. But I would say my favorite childhood location would have to be Ithaca, New York, the complete opposite. Ithaca, New York is a home base for my family. No one lived there. Well, my grandparents lived there when my dad was like 10 months old, and my grandfather fell in love with the area, bought land. When his 2 sons got engaged to my grandpa Golden Shoe's 2 daughters, he bought property off of the first grandfather. And so all my life, well, from the age of 4 onward, we spent summers in Ithaca. And my grandparents retired there. My parents have retired there now. And I go there, I try and go there twice a year, in the summer and at Christmas. And I get my fill of snow during the week and a half that I'm there at Christmas time. And then I am ready to not have it again. But I love Ithaca, New York. It is home base. It is where all my childhood vacation memories are, and family memories of extended family and cousins. So Ithaca, New York. When did you really get into the board game hobby? I have always loved board games. I fell in love with Clue when I was 9 years old, and that's when I realized that I like to play games. And I grew up playing all those different mass market games, you know, the childhood games of Trouble and Sorry and Monopoly and Clue and all of those. And then because I'm old, as the 80s came in, I was quite happy to learn categories and Balderdash and Taboo, Phase 10, Rummy Cube. It's like all of those games. Later on, Apples to Apples came out. I just played them all. But really, I've always had an affinity for unusual games. So even when I was still not a hobby gamer, I was always on the lookout for a game that looked different. And by chance, I bought some games that turned out, now I know that they were an excellent choice back then when I didn't know what I was buying. But the first, let's see, later comes first game. So what really got me into the board game hobby was during COVID. 2 years ago, this month, July 2020, this is 2022, July of 2020, Comic-Con, because of COVID, did a virtual convention. And I would never make it to Comic-Con or to San Diego for it. So, but there was this group that I had never heard of before, called Boardgame Geek, and they were there was the notices that they were going to show a new board game every half hour for all, like 10-12 hours a day for like 3 or 4 days. And that fascinated me because I love to play games. So, but I hated going into game stores because I saw these games and knew nothing about them, which is why I started this the channel that I started on YouTube. But that's an aside. So anyway, so I started, when I got home from work each evening, I would pull up the Board Game Geek videos of what had been shown during the day live, and I would watch it, and I was making lists of every game that looked interesting to me. I ended up with this long list of these new games that looked really interesting to me. And then after that, I realized or found out that Board Game Geek is a website, and they have YouTube videos, and it was like this awakening to the background that has been around for years on board games, and that I had no clue about. And through Board Game Geek's website, I came across a couple reviews from the Dice Tower, and that's when I discovered the Dice Tower YouTube page, and I just jumped into the rabbit hole, and have, for the last 2 years, have been just catching up, basically catching up. So, 2 years ago. Question 4, first game you purchased. First hobby game I purchased, or first game I purchased. The first game that I can remember purchasing back in the early 80s, or mid 80s actually, was this new novelty, which now you can get 20 of them for $1 at Goodwill. Trivial Pursuit. That was the first game that I actively went out to buy on purpose, that specific game. The first game I bought from a game store was about 20 years ago. I walked into this game store in a mall. So it was a small game store in a mall. And I was just looking, because I had no clue. I didn't know what I was looking at. And one of the very nice employees came and asked if he could help me. And I was just saying, I'm just looking for a game. I just want a game, good game. And he suggested a game that had come out the previous year and had been sold very well, called Cranium. And that has, of course, become more of a mass market game since then. But at that time, it was game stores where you could find it. And so technically that would be my first knowingly buying a game in a game store. But I've had much better games that I bought around the same time. I just didn't know what I was getting at the time. But we're going to say Cranium. Any hobbies besides, other than board games? Any hobbies other than board games? Well, yes. In fact, some of the supplies are over there. I occasionally do diamond painting. I have done a lot of scrapbooking. Not very recently. Really recently, it's been hobby gaming, everything to do with gaming, including doing a YouTube channel. But also, I have a lot of yarn from crocheting. I love to read. I love to do all sorts of things, but they're all sedentary things. If you notice, I'm not into sports. I'm not into very active hobbies. I like quieter type. Of course, gaming can be active, but for the most part, it's a quieter hobby. Yeah. So anyway, okay. Your breakthrough game. My breakthrough game, now that I look back, at the time I didn't know it was my breakthrough game. But the first one, I became aware that there were unusual games other than the mass market games in Walmart, was Catan. And back then it was Settlers of Catan, at my cousin's house. My cousin and his kids liked to play games, and they had Catan, and they taught me it, and so that was technically my first hobby game that I knowingly played, knowing that it was something different and something popular and available. And of course, I do own a copy now, though I did buy it secondhand. So, yeah. A theme that drives you in. A theme that I like. Well, there's several. I like pretty. I like pretty. I like historical. I'm not huge on IPs. A few IPs. I like Disney, so Disney can get my interest. But other than that, it's like give me ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, the medieval time period. I love history on its own. So anything that's kind of got a historical thing. Hi, honey. Yeah, my dog is trying to get my attention, and it's raining outside. It's down. Okay, come on up. Come on up. Come on. You can do it. Jump. Come on. You can do it. Okay, anyway. So yes, pretty. There's also a couple games that I really think are, there you go, that I really think are beautiful, and that would be Kohaku and Sakura, which are both Japanese. There we go. And so I'm intrigued by that. And I think later it asked me what not. Okay, so the themes that draw me in are pretty, and or historical in nature, ancient civilization type of things. Those really draw me in pretty well. And occasionally Disney. Favorite mechanisms. Simple puzzly games. I mentioned Kohaku. Games like Floriferous, Herbaceous, Village Green. Let me look around. Arboretum. Those all, even things like Quirkle, and they seem to. I like the concept of picking and placing, picking and choosing. Even games that use card drafting, or like Splendor and Century Spice Road, those kind of things. I like to have the concept of picking something, and then the placement or the combinations. It's a puzzly type of thing. Honey, you're just like in my face right now. You know that? Okay. So yeah, so that's my favorite mechanism. A theme that you don't like or that you aren't good at. We'll name a couple. I am I do not like games that people describe as chessy. I have learned that in these 2 years that I don't like them. I have Onitama, don't like it. I have Santorini, don't like it. I've known how to play the mechanics of chess since I was 8 years old and never was impressed by it. So yeah, the Night You Killed Me doesn't interest me at all. Yeah, all of the Hive doesn't interest me at all. I just don't like that mechanism, that type of game. It just doesn't. You're going to get down now? Thank you. So yeah, theme that just, yeah, and I'm not good at them. I'm not good at them. Another thing that I don't like would be any real horror, not the campy horrified, but the American horrified doesn't interest me, but the campy original horrified I think is cute. Any Cthulhu stuff doesn't interest me. The big war game don't interest me. Yeah, which is why, part of the reason why my channel is Get a Clue Casual Gamer, because I'm going to talk to casual gamers about stuff. I'm not going to talk about all those others. Newest game in your collection. Okay. I think the newest one arrived actually 2 days before I got to my new house. I had it shipped here, and it's the new Rear Window, which is an IP. But I love the movie, and when I heard that it was similar to Mysterium, I like deduction games. That's another thing. I pre-ordered Rear Window, so it arrived 2 days before I got to my new house. So it is my newest game. And have I played it yet? No, because I don't know anyone to play games with yet. I am still getting acclimated and moved in, and so I don't know anybody to play a game with. So if you're in the Dothan, Alabama area, yeah, I'm looking for somebody to play a game with that's not Cthulhu. Okay, or horror. Favorite player count. Probably my favorites are 2 to 4 for most games. I'm quite happy to play some games solo. I have quite a few that are solo games and that can be played solo, and I do play them. But I do prefer 2 to 4, unless it's a party game, of course, and then I want a lot more. I want it to be fun with a lot of people for a party game. But for most games, 2 to 4 is a nice sweet spot for me. What is your board game pet peeve? There's a couple, I think the most annoying for me would be someone who is trying to dominate decisions. Whether I have played games with people who will tell you, you roll the dice and then they're like, oh, that goes there, or that goes there. It's like, or you should do this, or you should do that. It's like, if I ask for help, if I'm learning a game and I'm kind of clueless, which happens a lot, I'm quite happy to say, what do you think? What would make more sense, this or this? It's like, when I initiate, it's great, thank you. But, and my peeve is more when I see it happening to somebody else who's not speaking up for themselves, because I can speak up for myself when I want to. But when I sense that somebody really would like to make their own decisions, but somebody else is telling, it drives me nuts. It is a pet peeve of mine. What player color do you use the most? This is number 13. Yeah, my favorite color is blue, second favorite's green, but when it comes to player pieces, I'm pretty open to whatever. Usually if I'm teaching a game or if I'm with people who aren't big gamers, I let everyone pick first and then I just pick one of the ones that is left. If I still have a choice, I will probably pick one that is a very different color from the ones that are being used so that it's obvious which one it is so that I can remember easier which one is mine. But I really don't care what color it is. It can be any color. My least favorite colors would be golden, burnt orange, you know, those fall colors. I hate fall colors as a whole. You know, so, or brown. Do you read the rule book or watch a how-to play video? Oh, Rodney. Rodney Smith is my go-to. I will check for a video, see if Rodney did one. If he did it, I'll watch that one. And then I will probably also, if I have a choice, watch, see if somebody from Dice Tower has done a review of it. And once I've seen it done, if neither of those have done one, then I will look for one that is short. In fact, I'll probably watch 2 different ones that are short, and then I will go to the rule book. It's like, I am a rule book person, but once I've seen things, it helps me better visualize the rule book. So I will, if at all possible, I will watch a video first. Okay, 15. Favorite snack to eat while playing board games? I don't have any favorite snacks. I don't usually eat that much while I'm playing a game. Usually before or after. If it is during, it's, you know, more of a break type thing. I usually drink water or in a closed container, bottle, or, you know, yeah, something that has a top that closes, just in case for spillage purposes. But yeah, I'm not a big snacker while I'm playing the game. If it's an evening or whatever, it's usually between games. Go grab a snack and eat it, get a swig of water or soda or whatever, then go back and play another game. 16, have you ever been to a board game convention? If so, which ones? I have not been to a board game convention per se. Yes, I have been to Star Trek convention. I have been to Dragon Con. It's been a while. I'm old, like I said. And, okay, but I have been to the Dice Tower retreat in Miami in 2021. And that was outside of my comfort zone for sure. But it was capped at 200 people. It's not this big 2,000, 5,000 people convention. It's quieter. Everyone's there because they want to play games. And so that was how I got myself to do it for the first time on my own. Went by myself and had a great time. I love it. I have reserved for this year, so I will be there in September. If you're watching this and you're going to be there, hey, say hey, play a game. Come on, play a game. I am very shy by nature, so it's hard for me to kind of like ask people or whatever, but I am quite happy to play a game. So yeah, Dice Tower retreat. This year, I think they've capped it at 250 people. An unreleased game you're most looking forward to. Unreleased, I mean, I have 150 games on my wish list, but unreleased game that I'm most looking forward would be the one Kickstarter I still have out. I'm not a big Kickstarter person. My first Kickstarter, I got the last day, in fact, the same day that Rear Window arrived in my new house, my first Kickstarter arrived in my old house. So literally the last last day that UPS would deliver. I can't remember if it was FedEx or UPS. It wasn't the postal service. I remember that because it wasn't the USPS, because they would have forwarded it, and that would be no problem. But I was getting stressed because I had read that they had mailed it they had sent it out, it had been shipped, and I was here like, oh my gosh, it's like if it doesn't get here in the next 2 days, I'm gone, and I don't have a forwarding thing for UPS or FedEx, whichever one it was, and it arrived this Saturday, and I left on Monday morning. So it was that was Gift of Tulips, but the one I'm still waiting for is due out in like October, November, December, late 2022, which is Trekking Through History. Again, the history thing got me. I was like, yeah, I gotta do Trekking Through History, and it's so pretty. It's pretty and it's history. Yeah, they got me. So that's the one I'm most looking forward to. What is your favorite thing about the board game hobby? For me, I love, as personally, naturally shy as I am, I love being able to sit around at a table. I'm looking at games, which is, sit around a table and play games and get to know new people. For me, it's a great way to meet new people because we're doing something that I love to do, which is play games. And so in that, some of them lead to conversations, others just lead to, concentration. But I love the concept of getting to know new people and getting to learn new games. I love learning in general. So for me to learn something that's fun is a plus. I just love it. Okay, number 19. Open and punch right away or wait until you play it for the first time. It's a mixture. Some games I open immediately and I punch them out and I bag them and I get them all organized and everything, and others are still in shrink wrap. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I have no rhyme or reason. Some I do, some I don't. So yeah, I kind of like in the middle. And the last question. Others you'd like to see do this tag. Others you'd like to see to do this tag. I really don't know much. I do know that there are a lot of smaller channel people like me. I mean, I only have, I think last time I looked, I had whole 49 subscribers. Thank you each and every one of you, whoever you are. So I don't have a big thing, but I have fun making these and I have fun learning about games to be able to do these videos. So if you are one of the other small site people that do Favorite Friday videos, you send stuff into Dice Tower for Favorite Friday and you haven't been tagged for this, consider yourself tagged. I would love to get to know more about you, more than just the little 45 to 60 second pieces that we do for Favorite Friday games. So that's it. Now there was one of these questions, in fact, when I did it, number 9 was it says a theme that you don't like or that you aren't good at, and I answered that question. But now that I remember, other videos I watched is the mechanism that you don't like, and I think that's yeah, I talked about the type of games I don't like, so we'll just count it as that. So that is me. That is a lot about me, and it's just shy of 30 minutes, so you've heard me a lot in my very messy room where I'm still organizing games so that I can get them up on shelves, and I've got to do some videos. I have to do one either tonight or tomorrow, because I have run out of the pre-recorded videos. I have a video going out Mondays and Thursday at, it used to be 5 o'clock, now it's 5 o'clock Eastern. But now that I'm Central Time, it's 4 o'clock Central. I pre-recorded all the videos to get me through this past week with the move and all. And I need to get a video done for tomorrow, 4th of July. Go figure, today is the 3rd of July. And I'm going to need to pick one of my newer games and do a quick video for tomorrow to give somebody a clue about a new game. And if you've never watched any of my other videos, get a clue. CLUE stands for components, length, uniqueness, and ease. Components, what's in that box? L, length, how long does the game take? U, does this game remind me of uniqueness? Does it remind me of any other game I might have played? And E, how easy is it to learn, teach, play? How easy is it to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? So that's what I do with casual level games. Yes, I kind of go by BGG's grading, and I go from 1 to 2.5 is my little niche. And the channel is all about casual games for gamers who are looking for a casual game, or people who like to play games but are looking for something new and know nothing about the hobby games. And I hope to give you something to go by, so that when you can go into a game store, a hobby game store, and ask for a specific game, or look for a specific game, or start recognizing the games that you see around you from these different videos. So that's it for me. Thanks for the tabletop tag, Ben, and God bless you and your family. Happy gaming. Bye.